All right, welcome. We're doing a little afternoon test in the markets. Market's been incredibly trendy today and very generous. You can see these breakers all as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right here. That we're working inside of. So low, high, lower, low. We did come back and treated these fair value guys pretty well. In here, gave a lot of resistance here. You can try again if you wanted to. We're just going to do this just for play. We're just following along, and we are watching the again, we're watching ourselves more than anything because we want to make sure that our emotions are in check. You're not going to control them, but you can watch them, and just getting our procedure down as to how we're going to take profits, how we're going to move in and out of the market. And we're using a 1-to-1 ratio. So we're right here. If our stop's going to be the low right here of this breaker, then 89 will be our stop. We'll go ahead and do a 1-to-1. And again, I was doing 1-to-1s based on, there we are. I was doing 1-to-1s based on the length of this manipulation leg. So because it's coming down and it's taking out obviously the stops right here, was doing that. It gives us a lot more available profit, but also you're sitting in the trade a hell of a lot longer too. So I'm doing 1-to-1s based on where I enter the trade and also what the ultimate stop would be, and just using that as my set of parameters for the risk to reward. Pretty impatient by nature, so this helps me get in and out of the trade without sitting there forever. The middle of the day, lunchtime, was, a lot of chop, a lot of sideways action. So right now we're seeing a little build up back of the action, and it looks like a continuation of what we had from this morning. And you can see it at a beautiful breaker right there at the 9:30 open, and up on the day the Nasdaq is up 0.84% in the futures. Never even looked at coming back to the fair value gap here. It was interesting that we did have a new week opening gap right here. This is based on a 5-minute chart. On a 1 minute, it's a little more clear. That's interesting. Why did it move? I have to go back and look at that. It's not supposed to be like that for sure. Obviously, the new week opening gap is supposed to be where it closed right here on Friday, 4:15, and then opened with a new market Monday at 9:30. So that is the new WOG. Jumped down, obviously came back, repaired it, which is obviously what it's supposed to do. Came down back to, this is the very first fair value gap of the day, sat in there, and then took off to the upside ever since. So that, the market worked like it was supposed to with the smart money concept. So whatever you think of smart money concepts and ICT, that's that's on you. Whatever, if something works for you, then keep doing that. If you like just moving averages and that works for you, then great. The main thing is finding something that matches your personality and your ideas, and especially matches the way that you trade. Let's get back over to see our trade, by the way. There we are. This is 100% sim. Again, I'm just plinking fleshing out ideas and things, so there's no real money on the line here. But even in that scenario, do not follow any of the trades that I have. This is just setting up parameters and ideas. And look at this. Uh-oh, something happened. That was crazy. So obviously don't really need to check on anything. That was some kind of news, because there's no reports that come out unless it was a bond at 120. Let's go ahead and look. Yeah, there's nothing due out today, so obviously that's news. And reactionary news that the market did not like. But we're only playing with a sim 100%, so that was a good bit of luck right there. Let's see what the bottom of the hour might continue to do. You know, it's going to come back and try to clean up, you know, all of this from earlier in the day. You got a lot of trend line liquidity sitting out here. So, and it is the 130. So we'll see how this plays. Be really interested to see how it comes back and plays into this fair value gap. Is it going to respect that, or is it going to reverse? And that's pretty much the basis, since this did not become an actual breaker. So we got to get rid of this. But it's pretty much the basis. If you find value in fair value gaps, you know, they have to be respected. That tells you something, and you can use that for trade. And if they're being disrespected, that tells you something as well too. So that's kind of how you have to use pretty much anything that you think is an indicator or a pattern. It's going to be interesting to see if it just backs right back out of here. So that's how I have to use everything. You know, don't be so locked into one thing that this has to work, and that's where pride and all those emotions come in. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Keep your risk management tight, and you'll be fine.
As the floors can take no more, stuck in this groove, I'm feeling bored.
So it's climbing back up, back into this fair value gap. To be a new proven breaker, then this is going to be low, high, lower low. Obviously, we saw it in real time. It sweep these lows, sweep the lows from back here as well too. This would be our high of the breaker. Now, still feeling this out, whether I like to put the high on the wicks or high on the bodies of the candles. So that's just a my thing, or a me thing rather. More important to see how, if it gets out of this fair value gap, or does this fair value gap keep it, you know, down right here, because this is just looking to be possible. You know, obviously it's not a breaker yet. We don't have a close above this bar.
What we think, we become. Don't wake up. Don't wake up. What we think, we become. Don't wake up. Don't wake
So the chat's up and live. If you have something interesting to ask or just have something to say, throw it in there. And apparently, don't wake up. See, rejected out of that fair value gap right there. So that is saying, let's see if we can get something to the opposite side. High, low. Higher, high. It's just really not clean. That was, again, that had to be some kind of a news announcement and all. I'm not really worried about checking it out just because the price action is the important thing. It was bouncing off this lower level that it had here before, so It's a nice bounce back off that level again. We'll see how far it takes it. I'm looking around for news as well too, to see, you know, what that move down was about. If anybody has any insight, let me know. It's climbing back now. It wasn't too didn't have too much of a long-term effect on what the market wants to do and where it wants to go. So this breaker is back in play now. That was neat. I wanted to save you from having to witness. So the same idea is back in play. We're in the bottom of the hour time frame. Low, high, lower low. Do we get a close above this breaker up here top this candle that closed up? So my voice a little more clear now. Just bumped up the gain. The plus 15, we'll see how that works out. All right, we're getting close. Can it make it? Especially watching to see if we get a reaction back out of this fair value gap now to the upside. Might go ahead and take this just to try. Obviously this is early, but this price action coming back up, getting above, and then now this test. We'll do the same thing again. It's going to be a lot wider. That's massively wide, but we'll see. 207. It's incredibly wide stop and target at this point, but it's not too bad. 51, almost 52 points. So you see how it came back in here and then bounced out. So that's what I'm seeing or hoping that will continue. All right, here it comes. Do we get a close back above the breaker? Again, I know I'm early, but I was trying to take advantage of this fair value gap, this inversion fair value gap right here as well too, and it was showing proof of life for continuation higher. So you don't need this much patience in the morning. A lot of people just enjoy watching trading in the morning. Still waiting to see what the news was. Did anybody get anything? be on watch for more wacky stuff happening, just because it is, you know, non-farm payroll week. And a delayed one at that. There it comes again. So this might carry over to the top of the hour macro. Go ahead and move these. I still want to drag this over. I want to keep that fair value gap in sight. How about the music? You liking the music? All right, we got our close above the breaker bar. I do want to see what the bigger bars are doing. 15, obviously, moving up. Hour, up. And we're still in sync with the 4 that's been positive like this since 10 o'clock.
What we think, we become. Don't wake up. Don't wake up. What we think, we become.
Come on, 5. Keep going. You have these stops all in here of people who are looking to go short. So hopefully it's eating those up. And as it eats those buy stops, it propels itself higher. So we shall see. Just for the sake of practice and for the sake of discipline and patience playing out, I am going to let this, you know, just kind of do what it's going to do. My more intellectual side would just say, like, go ahead and eat this with a small win. But again, that's what this is about, is learning and letting this experience be a building experience. Good stuff. I mean, the best of scenarios, once we get into this macro, top of the hour macro, the 150, I mean, we just take off, boom, and hit this up here, and we're out. And then whatever else happens, just not a concern with. Again, 100% is just sim inside of a TopStep practice account. So not acting like it's any more than that, anything more than that, just to test. And micros of that. Hey, if anything, you get some decent music to listen to. It does want to sit here and play, that's for sure. Coming back into the profits of the trade. And this is where we're looking for this fair value gap still to kind of keep price in check. All right, we're in that macro. We'll see how it plays. It's really weird for me to look at, you know, to be in a trade and sit and especially being in it long enough to be like an observer, usually very emotional, very just, almost kind of become blind to what's going on and what's happening just because you're so engaged with the profit and loss. So this is good practice. This is good. It's a good experience. Now, the most important lesson of this is maintaining this when there is actual trades on. And hopefully, even though it's just a test, somebody comes across this and it's helpful for them too. Come on, let's go. I'm gonna keep this back here just to keep it clean. It's still obviously very useful because it's actually working, but it's getting a little cluttered up here. All right, you need to go now. I could not be an afternoons only trader. This is crazy. So this is the hour expanded. I mean, is that enough? Is that all it needs to go to the downside? Is it going to continue? We got some nice targets here. You got a big fair value gap here. Or does it want to pause and then come back and clean some of this up? Are you still getting wicks and wicks off of this fair value gap? So what are you trying to tell me? Well, we got them up here as well too. What are you trying to tell me? Just we're in consolidation and high resistance liquidity right now. And isn't it crazy now? No matter where you enter or you come about, price always does this. It just kind of screws with you. Like, Ah, you're about to go negative. Ah, you're about to go negative. Doesn't always work out that way. It's pretty crazy. But obviously, this is the price you're focused on because that's where your entry is, even if it's your fake entry. All right, what does this next hour want to do? All right, we've invested a lot of time in this. I do not want to let it go negative. Get up. I'm just gonna get $10. Again, the show would just be too painful to do all this. I want $10 of fake money. Instead of losing fake money. Oh, now it's, I don't have to baby it so much. I can see what the higher time frames are doing. What are you gonna do, 5? And our 4-hour obviously just closed. So another reason why, pretty important time frame. There it comes, there it comes. Yeah. So even if it does continue, it might just come down, sweep this, and then go back up after all that. But after doing all that, I do not want to play that game anymore. But we will continue to see how it plays out. Especially if it comes back up for this liquidity here. And another lesson that obviously you got your setup, you got your plan, you got your idea. Just because it's yours doesn't mean that it's perfect or it's going to work. So let it play. Take your small win, take your small loss. Bug out. Get ready for the next trade. Again, right to where we were. That's so funny. Interesting funny, not hilarious funny. Looking now.
What we think, we become. Don't wake up.
Patience, young one.
Up. What we think, we become.
Or old one, however the case may be.
Up. Don't wake up.
That's the lesson.
What we think, we become. Don't wake up. Don't wake up. Don't wake up. Don't wake up. What we think,
All right, back on music at 35 decibels.
don't wake up. Don't wake up.
25.
We become. Don't wake up.
Background music 25 decibels, negative 25. And mic at 0. Now, even on sim, and I want to go back into this because the trade was the trade. It was in there already. You don't get to reward yourself just because you see what you were going to do plays out, and then now you want to jump in. Just zooming in on that 5 a little more. The 5-minute candles, they have a way of like a little more cleaner stops and reversals. So that's why a lot of times I try to end my trades at the end of the 5-minute. I didn't do it this time. I'm just saying in general. Back into the breaker again. I do want to cut it off at the end of this macro, the top of the hour macro, but I want to see how this plays out, and then let you guys see how it played out as well too. even though it's just a test and sim. Sorry. So this fair value gap worked again. How far does it go? How far can it go? Still seeing if it's in play though. We're starting to make, or not continuing to make higher lows. I'll go ahead and clean this up to just be the original trade. All right. Just continuing on out of this macro. We'll see how far it goes. 5-minute, 15-minute bars about to close. We'll take a peek at those guys. Look at the 5 minutes. Remember what I said about the 5-minute? Look at this. It's jumped over, straight down, jumped over, straight up. When the market is moving and you have low resistance going on, a lot of the times that 5-minute is just the timing. If I was in a trade actually and had a decent amount of profit, I mean, I'd go ahead and kill it at the 5-minute mark. This 15 is about to close nearest top. 5-minute, of course, we just talked about. There it is. There it is right there. So we'll see. But just something, an interesting observation to make note of. If you're happy, you're in a fat trade and you're happy with how it's played out so far. It's coming to the end of the 5-minute and you don't really give anything back. Either move up your stop super close or go ahead and kill it. And the next macro we'll play with or watch is going to be this one, but we have our structure already created. And this, now that if we carried on the trade, we'd be in profit. I would definitely exit after this was a close below and not let it go back down that far. So I can go ahead and get rid of that one. She's moving. For now. On a little different light. It's kind of blinding me while I'm looking at the screen. All right, now we're moving into the next macro. 220 macro. Is going to continue to finish out this breaker that's been going on for over a while, for over an hour now.
As the floors can't take no more, stuck in this groove, I'm feeling bored.
All right, I'll be right back.
Ready, steady, go. As the floors can't take no more, stuck in this groove, I'm feeling bored. Let's roll. As the floors can't take no more, stuck in this groove, I'm feeling bored. Let's roll. As the floors can't take no more, stuck in this groove, I'm feeling bored. Let's roll. As the floors can't take no more, stuck in this groove, I'm feeling bored. Let's roll. Ready, steady, go.
What we think, we become. Don't wake up. Don't wake up. What we think, we become. Don't wake up. Don't wake up. What we think, we become. Don't wake up. Don't wake up. Don't wake up. Don't wake up. What we think, we become. Don't wake up. Don't wake up. up.
And there it was, right there. Breaker came all the way back. 25, 416.75. Now again, taken because of that extreme bar right there. Taking a 1-to-1 from here didn't make as much sense. I mean, you might do it later in the afternoon, but if you do go from where we were, that was beautiful. If you go from the bar, and you're almost there too, but it was still definitely worthwhile. And the most important thing was paying attention to the structure. What was it respecting and what was it not respecting? So obviously right here, fair value gap, inversion fair value gap respected. Stayed in, stayed in, stayed in, stayed in. Right here. Once we saw that, it was like, okay, yeah, it looks like it wants to continue because it didn't even come back down below that one. So beautiful, beautiful trade. Looks like it might continue on up to the official, unofficial 1-to-1. But awesome, good test, good watch. Breakers and macros. That's what we're looking for. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for helping with the test. Trade well.